Let's take a look at organizational needs analysis. Conducting a needs analysis is an important step for organizations seeking to effectively implement training and development for their employees. The reason is that a needs analysis is important as it answers questions about training and development processes. The most basic question it answers is whether a specific training program is appropriate for an individual employee. A thorough analysis will clearly identify training needs and facilitate instructional design, which helps to ensure that the organization is making a good investment in its time and resources. A needs assessment can be conducted at three different levels of analysis. The most macro level of analysis is the organizational level. An organization needs analysis produces information about what type of training or development is required or appropriate for the organization to provide. The middle level of assessment is at the job level. A job needs analysis provides information on the type and scope of training or development required for someone to be successful in a specific role. The most micro level is the person level. This level of analysis lets managers know if a specific employee needs and/or is ready to participate in a specific training or development program. Although individual employees participate in training, that training is either paid for or provided directly by an organization. And all organizations want to ensure that they're making wise investments of training resources. The organizational level needs to address the question of whether training or development should be provided from multiple perspectives. One perspective focuses on technical issues. Another looks at organization strategy and culture to determine whether training and development align before considering technical needs and opportunities. In needs analysis, we also ask if the organization has policies in place to reward employees for development. Individuals are more likely to learn and then use new knowledge and skills if they're held accountable. When determining whether to provide employees with training or development, an organization needs to consider if it has sufficient resources and whether the organization's environment is supportive of training. Organizations also must determine what to provide. This involves looking at content or reasons for providing training and development and considering what pressures the organization might face. These pressures can originate either internally or externally to the organization, and analyzing the pressures can be achieved through something like a SWOT analysis, which looks at four areas of the organization: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Specifically, weaknesses, internal pressures, and threats, external pressures, identify areas of training and development that address organization deficiencies or vulnerability. Weaknesses represent things that the organization doesn't do well. Some of these deficiencies can be reduced or corrected by providing employees with training or development. Threats represent external challenges that impact performance or success of the organization. These include challenges from basic competitive forces such as technological advancements as well as regulatory constraints. Strengths represent what an organization does well. When conducting a training needs analysis, it is easy for an organization to take its strengths for granted, but they also need to maintain or reinforce them through the process. While opportunities may not have the same urgency as threats, they provide organizations with the chance to expand into new areas or utilize a potential competitive advantage. The extent and the need to train or develop employees to capitalize on them will depend on the nature of the opportunities.